little glow. I got that glow. No, just joking. I just got through taking a little walk, so we'll work with what we have. You guys ready? Okay. So I feel like one of the most common questions that people ask authors when they write a book, in my case, write a journal, is what inspired that person? And so let's dive into that. Let's talk about it. So I was scrolling through TikTok one day and I came across a young lady that was talking about Ephesians 6 and the full armor of God, specifically the pieces of armor. And she talked about the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness. And when she got to the sword, she said, do you know that the sword is the only piece of armor that it is a weapon? The rest of it is protective gear. And I said, I had to think about that. So I pulled out my Bible and I read Ephesians 6 and went over the pieces of the full armor of God. And we don't want to forget prayer, because prayer is in there. It's just not in, it sits by itself a little bit. So I'm going to say we need to not forget about prayer. But when I thought about it, I was like, she's right. The sword is a weapon. The rest of it outside of prayer are gear, pieces of gear. So then I went even further. I'm like, okay, when you're on the battlefield, when you're in a fight, the gear is what protects you. It's your protection, but it's not going to win the battle. You actually need a weapon in order to win the battle. I used to play a little bit of basketball in high school, and so I associated it with that as well. Defense sometimes wins games, but it is not the sole thing that wins games. You have to put points on the board. You have to make the shots in order to win the game. Same with battle. You put on your protective gear, and you go out to battle. In this case, it would be the sword. And the sword is what's going to seal the deal. That's how I thought about it. It's what seals the deal. It's the piece of weaponry or the weapon that you're going to use to chop off your component's head. I know that's kind of graphic, but or stab your opponent with, the enemy with. And you hope that in whatever affliction that you give them, that it ends the battle or it ends up in a win for you. I don't want to get too graphic with that, but in a nutshell, that's what it is. So that's where I came up with the title, Girl, Pick Up Your Sword and Use It. It's not good enough just to pick up the sword and put on that persona that, oh yeah, I got my weapon, I'm about to do whatever, whoop-de-whoop. No, you actually have to take that sword and use it. If you don't use it, then what good is it? What good is it really? And so that's where this book journey all began. I want to encourage women. I want to encourage people to use the Bible, the Word of God, against the enemy to win the spiritual battles that they may face. I really appreciate you having me here today, or for you coming here today and spending this time to talk with me. All right. Thank you so much. It's an honor.